Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today from Mediaite, how Trump's controversial pardon may literally pay off for the Chrisleys and cost their victims. Now, of course, this is a story that we've been hearing about here in the Atlanta area, of course, because the trial was taking place here in Atlanta, and not too far from where I used to be headquartered when I worked for the state in law. So, of course, this has been here at the front and center here in Atlanta for quite some time. And I just wanted to cover it with you guys because I found it fascinating. Now, most people who probably follow reality TV will have been aware of all this that's going on, but I thought I would keep you guys apprised and let you know how all this turned out. President Donald Trump's controversial move to pardon reality TV couple Todd and Julie Chrisley may pay off for them, but at the cost of the people they've accused of ripping off in the first place. If a defendant is ordered to pay restitution and is then pardoned, the restitution is scrubbed and no longer has to be paid, TMZ reporter citing federal law. But if some of that restitution was already paid, the presidential pardon can order those who collected it to repay the defendants, right? The stars of Chrisley Knows Best was convicted in 2022 of fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy related to over $36 million in fraudulent loans. They were also ordered to pay restitution. Now, these types of stories are relatively common because we obviously know what's going on there with Letitia James in New York and, of course, the accusations they made toward Donald Trump. So, obviously, Trump can somewhat relate to what the Chrisleys are going through. So, the Chrisley lawyers told TMZ that they had indeed paid some of that restitution. Todd was slapped with a 12-year sentence, with Julie ordered to serve 7 years. At least they were until Tuesday night, when Trump called their kids to let them know he was granting the couple a full pardon. Now, here's Savannah, the daughter. So if you guys ever watched the reality TV show and so forth, probably know a lot more about this than I would as far as keeping up with everything here. But I found it fascinating because this was kind of front and center news here in Atlanta for a while. Now, speaking of Atlanta, we have Fox 5 News here, and I wanted to play a little bit from the prosecution team because, of course, they were none too happy about it. And I've already paused it at one of the sections because he spends like the first several minutes introducing the entire team. But here's what they had to say.
Earlier today, United States District Court Judge Eleanor Ross sentenced Todd Chrisley to 12 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Julie Chrisley to 7 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. And Peter Tarantino to 3 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Today's sentences are the result of a jury finding these defendants guilty of multiple offenses at trial earlier this year. Over the course of a trial that lasted nearly 3 weeks, the jury found that Todd and Julie Chrisley conspired to defraud Georgia community banks to obtain more than $30 million in personal loans. They did so by submitting false bank statements, false audit reports, and false personal financial statements. They also used fraudulently obtained loans to repay old ones. While earning millions of dollars from a television show, Todd and Julie Chrisley, along with their accountant, Peter Tarantino, conspired to defraud the Internal Revenue Service, to evade collection of delinquent taxes owed by Todd Chrisley. The Chrisleys opened and kept corporate bank accounts only in Julie Chrisley's name. They later transferred ownership of the bank accounts to a relative to conceal their income from the IRS.
All right, so there's the general premise here of what was all going on. And, of course, there's it's extraordinarily serious, is it not? I mean, when you go through that process that they went through, it does make you kind of scratch your head and wonder, you know, what exactly was Trump trying to really achieve by doing this, right?
New this morning, the daughter of reality show stars Todd and Julie Chrisley is overjoyed that her parents are heading home from prison.
Yeah, she went to Instagram to share her gratitude to President Trump for pardoning the couple. Good Day's Brooke Zahner is live at the Russell Federal Building in downtown Atlanta with what led up to this point, and then, of course, what's next. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning. And Savannah is the daughter of the Chrisleys, and she has been fighting to get them released from prison really since they were put in prison. That was back in 2022 when they were convicted. Todd and Julie Chrisley both were found guilty and convicted of financial related crimes. That happened here at the federal courthouse behind me again back in 2022. So their daughter Savannah has since conducted a public campaign to have their convictions thrown out. She was also the one to seek out a presidential pardon, claiming that her parents' convictions were based on an illegal raid, compromised evidence, and false testimony by a government witness. So on Tuesday, both Savannah and her brother Grayson got the call that they were hoping for from the president, letting them know that he would be pardoning their parents.
Your parents are going to be free and clean.
President Trump didn't just commute their sentences. He gave them a full, unconditional pardon. So for that, I am forever grateful.
So Savannah was saying there was some shenanigans going on that led up to this, and of course we know, we are familiar with some of the shenanigans going on. And I'm just quickly reminded of Gretchen Whitmer there in Michigan when the FBI was pursuing certain individuals to suggest that they were going to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. And of course we later found out all was going on. Of course, on January 6th, Donald Trump was acquitted of that. But they still created the selection committee, or as Trump likes to call it, the unselected committee. So this is going to go back and forth, arguing over it. And, of course, here on X, people wasted no time going after Donald Trump, and they weren't very happy about it. Trump just said he's pardoning the Chrisleys, convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. This isn't justice. It's favoritism. If you're famous, loyal, this, that, and the other, or whatever, you get this. And then, of course, we have, I'm a huge Trump guy, but this full pardon on the Chrisleys is BS. They defrauded $30 million and owed $17 million in restitution. Now, I don't know all the particulars to this, so that's why I wanted you guys to hear the different video, see what the prosecution was saying, see what Savannah was saying, and you guys can, draw your own conclusions. But I'm sure there's a lot going on here, because, of course, we don't know what Savannah was actually outlining, and what information was brought up in court about what she was claiming was happening, that her parents were somehow, there was some suspicious activity going on with the way the investigation was conducted, the way the raids were done, this, that, and the other. And so it's interesting to see. But what I've heard today from the media here in Atlanta is they're already working on a new reality TV show. They've already started filming it. And we'll know more about it next year, because typically shows are recorded a year. Well, they're recorded a year in advance, not so much a year in advance, but you got editing and everything else that goes on. So when you see a show on TV or program that you like, one of your favorite shows, they've already filmed all of that. It's already been recorded, or like a year in advance, sometimes a little bit more. So but here on X, everybody's going back and forth. As you saw there was a Trump supporter guy saying, I'm okay, I'm a Trump supporter, but this thing's kind of back and forth. Now, I am kind of indifferent about it. I mean, I don't think that people should get away with like I said, I don't know what all happened here. I mean, I don't know what Savannah's claims are, how legitimate her argument is or claims are about how her parents were investigated and what happened there. I have no idea, because I didn't look into it. And but says Trump pardoned the Chrisleys, convicted of fraud and tax evasion. Shocker. Add them to his hall of shame, right next to Manafort, Bannon, and Stone, and Arpaio, and Fior. Of course, all of them were also caught up in a lot of the activity that was going on that were targeted towards them, especially with Bannon. And I didn't see some other individuals that I mentioned here with Bannon there. I can't think of his name right now. It went out right out of the top of my head. But, so the people aren't very happy about all this, so it's just kind of back and forth. You guys all let me down in the comments if you have been keeping up with any of the Chrisleys' activity here in the Atlanta area and their case. I would like to know if you have been keeping up with it and what your thoughts are and what your opinions are on it, of course. And I do want to thank all of you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support here on the channel. Your comments and your likes are very important on those alternative sites. I'm still going over some concepts and ideas of what I want to do with some of these sites, whether I should drop them or not, whether I should pursue certain platforms that I've been using for a while, and whether I want to continue doing those or not. So those are just things that are going on in the background, as well as all of you, of course, all of you here on YouTube. I want to thank all of you guys for your continued support. It's been an amazing 2025. Lots of changes going on with the algorithm, lots of changes going on, you know, in our culture, in our society. Now that Donald Trump is president, a lot of things going on, of course, and things have been very interesting, at least here for the BuzWeaver channel. But I want to thank all of you guys for your continued support. Appearing there on the screen, that'd be the channel icon for all of you watching, of course, here on YouTube. You guys can click on that icon and subscribe to the channel, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.